Hey everyone. Okay, so in this segment, I'm going to go over with you alcohol at Disneyland. I'm going to get probably so much heat in the comment section about this topic, but I really wanted to discuss it. A lot of people have debated it and argued about it online for years, so I felt like I wanted to just kind of weigh in on the topic. Okay, so as many of you know, if you go to Disneyland on a regular basis, you're aware that they sell alcohol at the Disneyland Resort. Okay, you can buy it at Disney's California Adventure, you can buy it at the downtown Disney District, you can buy it at all the hotels. However, you cannot get alcohol in Disneyland Park unless you go to Club 33, which not many people have access to Club 33. Now, there's been a lot of debate about whether they should allow alcohol at Disneyland Park. Should they sell alcohol at Disneyland Park? My opinion on this topic is yes. I have no problem with that, okay? Here's where I stand, and here's why I come up with that conclusion. I have a couple reasons for it. Number one, they sell alcohol everywhere around Disneyland. So you can go to California Adventure and get a drink. You can go to downtown Disney and get a drink, and you can even go to Club 33 and get a drink. So if the whole argument about alcohol at Disneyland is, well, we don't want people to be drunk at Disneyland, Walt's Park. It's Walt's Park. We shouldn't have anyone being drunk in Walt's Park. Yeah, that's fine, but if you allow alcohol everywhere else, like if you go to California Adventure and get drunk, you can go to Disneyland, walk like 10 feet and be in Disneyland and still be drunk. So you're not preventing people from being drunk inside Disneyland. So that argument is totally moot. I mean, totally mute. Like it makes no sense. You can still get drunk at the resort and go to Disneyland and you're still drunk. So you're still drunk at Disneyland. So even if they didn't sell it to you at Disneyland, you're still drunk at Disneyland. So my whole point is, look, I know when the park opened in 1955, Walt didn't want alcohol, or he didn't allow alcohol in the park. It's a different time. It's a different era. In Walt's day, you were allowed to smoke at Disneyland. Really, now you're not. There's very few areas now at Disneyland where you can actually smoke. Society changes, mindsets change. It's not 1955 anymore. And I personally find that I see nothing wrong in having restaurants or whatever at Disneyland that sell alcohol. If you want to drink at Disneyland, you're going to drink anyway. The people that want to drink, they're going to go to California Adventure. They're going to go to downtown Disney. They're going to drink anyway, and they're going to be at Disneyland eventually anyway. So it doesn't really, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter. You're selling it all around Disneyland already. It doesn't make a difference. It makes no difference. Either have Disneyland Resort a completely alcohol-free area where you can't get alcohol at all, or open it up to everything, including Disneyland. It's one or the other, but you're not going to stop someone from drinking at California Adventure, getting drunk or tipsy or whatever, and then heading over to Disneyland. You can't stop that, okay? So you're still having the issue of people being drunk at Disneyland, even without selling it at Disneyland. You're not accomplishing anything by not selling it at Disneyland. Another thing is that I've been to Disneyland 1,000 times, probably more than 1,000 times. I have an annual pass. I've had an annual pass for like well over a decade. I've been going to the park as a kid. I've been going to Disneyland for a long time, but basically since California Adventure opened in 2001, I think is basically when they started really selling alcohol. Okay. So for 15 years, almost 16 years, Disneyland Resort has been really pushing the alcohol, okay? In the 16 years since California Adventure opened, and the countless times I've been to the resort, I've honestly never seen problems with the alcohol. I've never been to Disneyland or California Adventure and seen like a belligerently drunk person acting up where security was like dragging them out of the park. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen that. Okay? I've been to Cobar a billion times. I've seen people at Cobar, they get loud. People are, joking, they're drinking, they're having a good time. That's the worst of it. That's the worst I've ever seen at Disneyland, a resort, in terms of alcohol. I've never seen personally, now this is just me personally, I've never seen a lot of issues with the alcohol. I don't see it attracting a bad crowd or anything like that. I see the same crowd that's always been going to the parks. I don't see a lot of alcohol related issues when I go to the resort. So I don't see a big issue with Disneyland starting to sell alcohol. So if they open Star Wars Land and they have a cantina in Star Wars Land, I have no problem with them serving alcohol at all. None. Zero. Zilch. No problem. Because they've obviously, Disney has shown that they're able to control the situation to some degree. Okay? Because they've done it with California Adventure. I have not seen major problems with drinking at the resort since California Adventure. I really have not. I see people drinking and being loud or having a good time at Cobar or whatever, but I don't see a big overall, issue with alcohol. So I think people, I understand like the whole fanboy, like, hey, Walt didn't want it, so we should never do it mentality. Okay, I understand that, but at the same time, Walt also understood like, evolving and moving with the times. And, bottom line, it's not 1955 anymore. It's not 1960 anymore. It's not 1965 anymore. So I think that as a society, we can handle alcohol at Disneyland. I really don't think it's going to like rip apart the fabric of Walt's park and destroy what he built. I really don't. It hasn't yet. And there's alcohol being sold all around his park. So I don't see the big deal. I really don't. I think that Disney should be allowed, or should allow, alcohol to be sold at Disneyland. Okay? Now, there's a caveat to that. It should be sold at Disneyland, okay? But there should be, I think when they hire bartenders and the people that, that serve this alcohol, I think that they should be trained to know when to cut people off. Obviously, you can't just keep allowing someone to get hammered to the point where they're disrupting other people and they're disrupting guests. I don't want to see that. So I hope that, like what I think they're doing with California Adventure, where they train people to see the signs. Like, look, this guy is too drunk. Can't serve him any other drinks. I'm hoping they do that with Disneyland, where like they train their bartenders to see the signs. Look, you know what? When someone gets to this point, cut them off so we don't have a problem. So far, I think that's what they've been doing, because I honestly have not seen issues at Disneyland Resort in regards to alcohol. And again, this is my personal observation. I go to the parks probably once or twice a month. Okay? And I've been doing it for years, decades. I've never seen issues alcohol related where someone's like stumbling through the park, in a drunken rage. I've never ever seen that. So I think they're obviously handling it very well so far, and I have no problem with them applying that same, method or tactic or whatever they're doing to Disneyland. I really don't. I have no problem with that. Like I said before, the park has to evolve. Like how Disneyland evolved with smoking, how they've cut out smoking. Before you could smoke, no problem. Now they cut it out where you're limited to certain areas. I think the same could be said about alcohol, about opening it up. As society changes and as society, opens itself up to new normals or whatnot, I think Disneyland sort of has to evolve with that. They've done so with smoking, they've done so with dress code and various other things, and I think it's time to open it up for alcohol. Again, when I say I support alcohol at Disneyland, that does not mean that I support a free-for-all in terms of alcohol, like where like people can just get drunk and hammered and just throwing up on Main Street. I don't mean that. I mean, have alcohol, but regulate it, monitor it. Do not allow your bartenders to serve people that are obviously too drunk, you know. And obviously Disney seems to be doing a good job so far in doing that, because they've handled it at the hotels and at California Adventure very well, in my opinion. So that's my opinion on alcohol at Disneyland. Post your thoughts below. I know it's a very controversial topic. I know my opinion on this is probably very unpopular. So post your comments, whether you agree with me or not. Post it. I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear from you guys. I love to you know, to debate you guys in the comment section and talk about things. So if I'm wrong, tell me, why am I wrong? You know, convince me. Why am I wrong? Why is alcohol bad at Disneyland? So let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And like and subscribe to my channel if you are into Disney and Star Wars and Pixar. I do regular content all the time in regards to all of these things. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.